Alright, going to sample APBA Go today. I'm on the free part of it, just the free teams. I haven't bought anything in APBA Go. But I'm going to play a game, and I actually have the Game 1 starting lineup set up because the two free teams are the World Series teams. So we're going to play a game, and it's basically a Game 1 of the World Series. Although we're not going to worry too much about it. We're just playing it and sampling it. I just actually had a really good game. The Dodgers were up 2-1 in the top of the ninth. Blue Jays tied it, and then the Dodgers won it in the bottom of the 10th with a bases loaded walk. They won it 3-2, so that was a good game. And that was Yamamoto and Berrios, I think. So here we go. We're going to just play this game and see what happens. One thing Max and Go have in common is they're both very quiet games, no sound. And I don't know, it just seems like it wouldn't be that hard to get some sound into these games, but very quiet game. But here we go. We're going to have Ohtani leading it off against Savage. And let's just play. I have the step option on, so it'll stop after every play. I find the game very hard to play without that on because it just goes too fast. So here we go. Ohtani rolls a 45-14, and that's a walk. So Ohtani is on right away. Runner on first, nobody out for Betts. And Betts rolls a 62-30. Oh, and it was a hit and run, actually. So Betts flies out to shallow left, and Schneider makes the catch. Ohtani has to scamper back to first. I like some of the play-by-play that I've seen. I had a guy thrown out at the plate in the last game, and the play-by-play was pretty good. This was also pretty good right here. So on the hit and run, Betts flies out, and Ohtani gets back to first for the first out. And that'll bring up Freddie Freeman. Playing basic here, just basic APBA. And here's a 23-12 and a walk, so first and second one out. Early trouble here for the Blue Jays. I believe I'm managing the Blue Jays in this game. I think I set the Dodgers to micromanager, but I did set up both lineups. So here's Will Smith batting with first and second one out. And he rolls a 41-13, and that, of course, everyone in APBA land knows is a strikeout. First and second, two out for Teoscar Hernandez. And we get a 63-30 and a fly ball to Schneider, and the Blue Jays get out of trouble, and we go to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless. And we will have Springer leading it off against Snell. And a 34 is a 31 and a fly to Pajas in center, one out. And that will bring up Schneider, playing left today. And there's a 63-31 and a double. Was that a zero? Yeah, that was zero. See, this happens a little too fast. He actually rolled a 11, which was a zero. And then, of course, you go to the second number for the second roll, and he rolls a 6 for a double. So whenever you see double, you know it's not a 31. So you have to kind of figure out, okay, he rolled a 0 first. I think they should slow this down. Give us the first roll and give us a pause so that we know what's going on and we know the second roll is coming. So similar to payoff pitch where when you go to the ballpark and they give you the wheelhouse and then the batter roll too fast. This needs a pause in between these two rolls. But anyway, Schneider doubles with one out. And there's a runner on second, one out for Guerrero. And there's a 13 and a 13 result, and a 14 is a walk. So first and second, 13 roll, 14 result. First and second, one out for Bo Bichette. And a 54 is a 32 and a fly to Hernandez. Schneider and Guerrero hold. First and second, two out for Kirk. And options here, you got swing away because I'm managing the Blue Jays. You got bunt, and you got some play it safe options. Stealing in basic is on the charts. So first and second, two out. I like the board, though. If you ever forget the outs or something, you got the little scoreboard here. It helps you out. And Kirk will bat, try and get a big base hit here with two out. And there's a 51 and a 9, and that is just a ground out to the pitcher. And we're going to go to the second inning. So both teams had some chances there in the first inning, but was scoreless. We go top of the second for Max Muncy. And we get a 33 and a 5 and a double for Muncy. So there we go. Muncy is on second with nobody out for Hernandez. And we get a 42, 13 struck him out, one out. Big strikeout there. Holds the runner. Bring up Edman. And we get a 24-13 and a strikeout. So 2 out, runner on second for Pajas, who was name I still can't say right. And that looks like a 43, and a 29 is a grounder to first. Guerrero takes care of that, and we're going to the bottom of the second inning scoreless, and Varsho will lead it off against Snell. And a 35 is a 13 and a strikeout, 1 out. And that'll bring up Clement. And 54 is a 32, and that is a fly out to Hernandez in right. We've got a couple of Hernandezes out there. 2 out, nobody on for Straw. And a 41 is a 24 and a grounder to Betts, and that is going to end the inning. They do it very quickly. You get the other team in the field very quickly right on the result. So that was a grounder to Betts at short. And we're going to go to the top of the third. Ohtani leading it off against Savage. Did they tell you what they've done in the game? I'm probably missing it. Where is it? I don't know if it's here somewhere, but I don't see it right away. So if anyone knows, is it over here? No. Well, if anyone knows, you can let me know. But here we go. Top of the third. Ohtani is up. And we get a 12, and that's a 25 and a strikeout. So Ohtani is out, 1 out. That'll bring up Betts. And a 55 is an 8 and a base hit. Base hit for Betts. Runner on first, 1 out for Freeman. And of course here in the field as the defensive manager, I just got intentional walk or pitch. And we get a 44. That's a 7 and a base hit. Betts goes to third. Runners on the corners. 1 out. Big threat for the Dodgers here. First and third. 1 out for Smith. And now my options include infield in. I'm going to stay back here though. First and third. 1 out for Smith. And we get a 31 and a 9. Smith singles over short, driving in Betts. Freeman goes to second, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. They got first and second, 1 out now for Teoscar Hernandez. And here we go again. We got a 1-1, which was a 0, and then we get a 46 and a 6, and Hernandez doubles. Freeman and Smith score, and it's 3-0 Dodgers here. Runner on second. Still only 1 out from Muncy. And we get a 26 and a 13. That's a big strikeout. 2 out. Trying to keep this game from getting out of hand. And we get the other Hernandez. And 62. And that's a strikeout. So he comes back with a couple of Ks, but the Dodgers take a 3-0 lead. They got 3 runs on 5 hits. Toronto yet to get on the board. We go to the bottom of the third for Jimenez. And a 42 is a strikeout, 1 out. Back to Springer. And that is a 30 and a fly out, 2 out. That's a fly out to left, 2 out, nobody on for Schneider. And Schneider flies out on a 14, which was a 30, and that was also to left. And we're going to go to the fourth with the Dodgers in control, 3-0. And Edman will lead it off against Savage. And a 51 is a 9 and a pop out to Clement at third, 1 out. Bring up Pajas. And a 53 is a 17, and that's a fly out to Straw in right, 2 out. Bring up Ohtani. Third at bat for Ohtani. And that is a 22, which was a 0, and then a 32, which is an 11, and a base hit to left. So Ohtani gets a second column base hit. Runner on first, 2 out for Betts. And Ohtani steals second, so there's the steals, I guess, on the card. Ohtani steals second base on an 0-1 count. Runner on second now with 2 out for Betts. Runner in scoring position. And a 64 is a strikeout, and Savage gets out of the inning. We go bottom 4, 3-0 Dodgers. Guerrero will lead it off. Blue Jays got to get something going here. 61's a 24, and that's a grounder to Betts at short, 1 out. Bring up Bo Bichette. Bichette on a 36 gets a 33 result, and that is a strikeout, 2 out. And that'll bring up Kirk. And on a 36, he gets a 33 and a strikeout. So They changed things so quickly. I went real quick to look on the mound just to remember that Snell was pitching, and they've already changed it to the Blue Jays. So we're going to the top of the fifth, but Snell got those strikeouts, and Freeman will lead it off here in the top of the fifth. And we get a 56. That's a 13 and a strikeout. 1 out. That'll bring up Smith. And a 23 is a 12. That's a ground out to third. 2 out. So that one inning has haunted Savage, where the Dodgers got 3. Otherwise, he's pitching okay. Teoscar will bat with 2 out, nobody on here. And a 53 is a 15 and a fly out to Schneider. Teoscar flies out to Schneider for the, again, they change it so fast. Schneider's playing left. I got that written down over here. So we're going to go to the bottom of the fifth. You see the result, and then you look in the field just to make sure of the fielder, and they've already changed it to the other team. So bottom 5, 3-0, and Varsho will bat, leading it off. And there is a home run on a 11 and a 1, and Varsho homers. Doesn't have to worry about a second column there. He gets the home run, and it's 3-1. And the Blue Jays strike to get on the board. Here's Clement. And on a 26, that's a strikeout. On a 27 result, 1 out. Bring up Straw. And Straw on a 65 gets a 35 and a ground to Freeman at first. 2 out for Jimenez. And on a 54-32, that's a fly out to Teoscar Hernandez. And we'll go to the 6th, but at least the Blue Jays got on the board. It's a game, 3-1. Muncy will lead it off. And a 62 is a strikeout on a 13, 1 out. Bring up Hernandez. And on a 46, that's a strikeout on a 13. So 2 out. Looks like 10 strikeouts for Savage in 5 2/3 innings. And that'll bring up Edman. And on a 51-9, that's a pop out to third. So a little bit of momentum for the Blue Jays. Bottom 6, they're down by 2. Springer leading it off against Snell. And that's a 32 and a fly out to right, 1 out. Bring up Schneider. And on a 21-13, that's a strikeout. Snell has, looks like 6 in 5 2/3. Guerrero will bat 2 out, nobody on. And that's a 30 and a fly out to left. And we're going to go to the 7th. 3-1 Dodgers. Pajas leading it off against Savage. And that is a strikeout on a 13. That's 11. 1 out. Here's Ohtani. And on a 65 roll, a 35 result. That's a ground to Guerrero. 2 out. Bring up Betts. And Betts, that was a lot happening right there. Betts rolled a 24-31, and he flies out to Varsho. But Savage, in the meantime, has been reduced to D grade, so that might be his last inning. We're going to go bottom 7. It's 3-1. I have fatigue activated as one of the basic options. So we're 3-1, bottom 7, 7th inning stretch time. Blue Jays need some runs. And Bichette will lead it off against Snell, who's still out there. At least we got some sound effects there. That was exciting. So here's Bichette. And that's an 8 and a pop-up to Muncy, 1 out. And that'll bring up Kirk. And Snell has now been reduced in grade as Kirk rolls a 53, and he reaches first on an error by Betts. So an E6, and Kirk is on, and the tying run is going to be at the plate for the Blue Jays. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, it's 3-1, and now Dreyer is coming in. So Dreyer is coming in. They've changed pitchers, and here's Varsho. And Varsho on a 51-9 singles beats out an infield hit, and Kirk goes to second. First and second, 1 out for Clement. Blue Jays with a chance here in the bottom of the 7th. 53 is a 20, and that's reaching first on an Edman error. So the bases are loaded. It's shortstop Betts and Edman at second. 2 errors. Bases loaded, 1 out. And now Straw with a chance here to get the Blue Jays right back in this. And we see some extra options, but we're not playing it safe on the bases. He rolls a 66-0 and then a 34-11 and gets a base hit past second, driving in Kirk and Varsho. Clement goes to third, and the Blue Jays have tied up this game at 3, and they have first and third, 1 out for Jimenez. So Blue Jays coming back here against the Dodgers. First and third, 1 out. And Straw steals second. And Jimenez has a 3-0 count. So it's a 3-0 count, second and third, 1 out. Can the Blue Jays get the lead here? And on a 51-14, he walks, and the bases are loaded. And that's going to bring up Springer with the bases loaded and 1 out. And he rolls a 25, bounces one to Dreyer, who cuts off the lead runner, Smith, and throws to first, and they get the double play. So a double play home to first, and the Blue Jays cannot get the lead. Springer bounces into a 1-2-3 double play, and it's going to be 3-3 top 8. Now I'm supposed to be getting you Savage out of this game, especially now that we got a new ball game. They got lefty, righty, righty, lefty, and I'm not going to pretend I didn't really follow baseball that much. Don't know their bullpen that well. What did I go into? Did I go into roster? Oh, I'm in. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. We got to get a new pitcher, and I'm looking at who. But we could go to Fisher, who pitched in the game. He had a good year. Not going to go crazy. This is just a game for fun. We'll put Fisher in the game. So Fisher will come in. We're in the top of the 8th inning of a 3-3 game, and Freeman's going to lead it off. And he rolls a 42-14, and he's on. So the go-ahead run is on first. Nobody out for Smith. And there's a 22 and a 7, and that's a grounder to Clement, who throws him out. And Freeman goes to second. So the go-ahead run gets in the scoring position with 1 out. They can only make the play at first. And now Teoscar Hernandez is going to bat. And on a 51-9, that's a ground out. Jimenez to Guerrero. Freeman goes to third on that. So it's going to be runner on third, 2 out. Dodgers trying to get the lead back, and it's going to be Muncy at the plate. And on a 2-1 roll, 32, that was a fly out to Straw, and they get out of the inning. And in the meantime, we're going to get a new pitcher, Edgardo Enriquez. It's a little bit strange here when they give you get the dice result, but then they give you the pitcher change before the actual batter result, and then they give you the pitcher change again. I don't know why they do that, but that's weird. I've noticed that in the game. We're going bottom 8, 3-3. Schneider will bat against the new pitcher. And I really don't want to play extra innings, so hopefully someone will score. Here's a 44-8 and a fly out to Pajas, 1 out. One thing I hate, even when I'm rolling cards and dice, is extra innings. I like these games to end on time. Is a 56-41, and that's a error by Betts. That's Betts' second error of the game. And Guerrero's on with 1 out, and he is the go-ahead run. I think I do have the ghost runner activated, so at least that could speed things up if we go to 10. Runner on first, 1 out for Bichette. And on a 54-32, he flies out to right, 2 out. It's going to be up to Kirk to do something big here. And on a 14-30, he's not going to do it. He's going to fly to left. So we're going to go to the 9th, tied at 3. Another good game, just like the one I had last time. Hernandez batting. I guess we can leave Fisher out there. I don't know if he would normally pitch 2 innings, but I'm not going to worry about it. And we get a 51, and that's a 14 and a walk. Runner on first, nobody out for Edman. And he rolls a 53-19. It's a hit. Oh, it's a hit and run. It's a hit and run instead. And Fisher hits Edman with the pitch. First and second. Nobody out. And that's going to bring up Pajas. And on a 51-9, he grounds out to Fisher. And the runners both move up. So second and third, 1 out. I'm going to have to bring the infield in. Infield's going to come in for second and third, 1 out. I'm going to just leave him in to face Ohtani. Normally, maybe I would make some kind of move, but I actually want this game to go 9 innings. So we'll let Ohtani bat second and third, 1 out with the infield in. And a 14-30 hits it deep fly to Schneider, and they're going to get a sac fly out of it. They are going to take a 4-3 lead, but it stays in the park. Runner on second, 2 out for Betts. And we'll see if we can get Betts to end this inning. And on a 62-30, it's a fly ball to Schneider. And again, they give you the lineup change before the out. So we're going to go to the bottom of the ninth. Pretty good ball game. Ohtani hit the sac fly to give him the lead. It's 4-3. And the Blue Jays have fought hard, but they are now down a run again. Stewart is in, and Varsho is leading it off. And on a 53-16, that's just a fly out to center. 1 out. They're down to 2 outs. Clement will bat. And on a 65-35, that's a grounder to Freeman. There are now 2 outs for Straw. We'll let Straw hit. I don't know again. I'm not going to worry about pinch hitters right now. We'll let him hit. And that's it. He rolled a 14-30 and a fly to left, and that's the ball game. It was a good game. 4-3 Dodgers. And Edgardo Enriquez gets the win. Fisher takes the loss. Stewart gets the save. Blue Jays fought back from 3-0 down, but they end up losing it in the ninth on an Ohtani sac fly. And that's just a little taste of APBA Go. It wasn't a bad game. See some little weird kind of quirks and stuff, but I could see having fun with this as well in a season mode. I wouldn't want to do a subscription. It's a little pricey, but maybe get a season and the season replay package. And that's it. That's APBA Go, and thanks for watching.